Hi everyone, this is Mehul Mehta and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I really wanted to talk about some of the programming languages that are core to the field of quantitative finance. So, like when I started into this field of quant finance, I remember like back at PwC, I was just using Python. I started working or started building all my projects in Python, and I use a lot of Excel for data analysis. Okay. So, that's how I started. So, and then, when I came here in the United States to pursue my master's here during my education, I was using MATLAB, I was using RStudio, I was using SAS. I never coded in C++ because I feel like I'm great with Python, but I've never touched C++ in my entire life. So, and then when I graduated in my last, few employers, I would say I've just used Python. Now, the thing is, the question is, which language should you start with, right? Because this is like one common question that I get. I would say start with Python. Last 6 7 years of my journey in quant finance, I have just used Python. I have not touched any other languages. When I'm particularly speaking about, working for a full-time employer, so I've just used Python. Yes, if in case you are aiming for, quant trading firms or high frequency trading firms, definitely they use a lot of C++ because C++ is much faster than Python. So that's why they need their processes to be built out in C++, and that's where the requirement is C++. But all the roles that I was into was more of quant analyst, quant researcher. I never targeted any quant developer role. So like, what's the difference, right? If you see, if quant developer is basically developing a system altogether. So when you are developing a system from scratch, and the system needs to be fast also. So that's where C++ becomes very prominent when you are aiming for quant developer roles. And that's why when you will see that in your interviews, they will ask you data structures and algorithm, which is, very core part of C++. So that's why I feel like, if you're aiming for quant developer roles, C++ is a must go language. But let's say if you're aiming for, let's say, quant analyst, risk analyst, market risk, credit risk, model validation roles, quant researcher roles, I would say Python is the best language. Python, you can do anything with Python. So, so a common question that I get is, from where should I learn Python? I'll tell you very, I'll tell you one thing, learn from anywhere possible. If you have YouTube resources, if you, let's say, don't want to pay anything out, right, start with YouTube. Take any YouTube channel which has like the highest views, and just follow that channel. If in case you want to take some paid courses, go and take out some paid courses which can teach you Python and how to integrate Python with finance. There are plenty of courses. Yeah, one thing that I always say is, don't pay too much. If it's like within 10,000 12,000 range, it's decent money. People charge this much money because all these courses extends up to like 2 months, 3 months. So that's why like 12,000, up to like 12,000 is a good money. But if someone is charging like 25,000, 30,000, I feel you should not take all those courses. Just take those courses which are like cheaper and are good to pursue. So I would say, like, start learning Python. So recently, I saw a certain LinkedIn post and they said, oh, we have built all the models in Excel, and Excel is the best tool to work with, and you don't need any Python or anything like that. Absolute bullish. I mean, rubbish, not bullish. Absolute rubbish. I'll tell you why. So I remember when I was working for my previous employer here in the United States, we had to automate certain processes. Okay, and I used the concept of multi-threading. So in simple word, let's say, if I want to run a process again and again, again and again, again and again, what multi-threading does is, at the same time, it can run 10 processes at the very same time. So instead of waiting for one process to end and then second process to continue, it just works. It just, simulate all the 10 processes at the same time. So your time execution speed, or the time which it takes to complete the whole process, it reduces by a lot, a lot. So that's where Python becomes handy. Now, how I got to know this, because I was working in the for the employer, and I was doing all these things, and that's where I felt, oh, if I would have done same thing in Excel, it would have taken me months. Literally, I'm telling you. to work on the same stuff in Excel, to automate the same stuff in Excel, and with that big data set, it is not even possible. So guys, one thing which you should really focus is on Python. Python has such friendly languages for data analysis. We do so many data analysis with the data sets, so I would highly recommend, please start learning Python. And this is, I just want to motivate you. Why I'm creating this video is, Python is, it's, we feel it's very hard, but see, everything is hard. If you see in that way, everything is hard. Just, you remember like the first time you were driving or you were cycling, we used to fall down, right? And or you might crash into some other car, right? So it's the same thing. I mean, whenever you do something for the very first time, you will feel hard. But when you do more often and often and often, that's where the same thing becomes easy. So guys, I would highly recommend, please start learning Python. It's very core and very essential for quant finance. Again, if you want to develop your expertise, of course you can go into C++ and other languages. The more languages, the better it is. But I would say Python, at least for right now, for next 5 years, Python is not going anywhere. So I highly recommend, please start learning Python, start playing with the data set, start doing, statistical analysis of a financial data set. So, do all these exercises, small exercises, so that you can learn of, how to use Python. And I would say the best way to go is either take some playlist on YouTube if you do not want to pay. And if you think, paid course will help you better, it will keep you motivated. So take a paid course, but again, make sure do not pay too much, so that, don't pay like 20, 30,000, 40,000 rupees just to learn Python, because the same can be learned in like, very cheap amount. If you ask me, I would say the best course I really liked or enjoyed was Python. I guess Krish Nayak offers this Python course on Udemy. So it says like Python data science and machine learning. So that I feel is a great course, because you learn everything at the same time. You even learn statistics. Statistics is also integrated in that course. Again, it's not a paid promotion. It's not nothing like that. I really like that course. The course is offered at 500 Indian rupees. In 500 rupees, you do not get anything in India, at least. So, but if you feel like, you need more of a personal assistance, personal guidance, you want a batch, like people, you can study in a batch, then you could go with other tutors also. But I feel like, point I'm trying to make is, just start learning, start playing with Python. That is the best way to learn any language, and it will eventually help you. Also, if you ask me, I'm not the best in Python, I'll be honest with you. I do so much Google search, in my day to day. Okay, how to do this, how to do that. And every programmer does, every programmer, whosoever, every con does. So don't think that, oh, if you are searching for something, it's bad. It's good. It's a healthy sign that, yes, you are searching for something, you are learning something new. So don't worry. I would say just start playing with Python, and eventually you'll have a great career in quant finance. All the best.